tonight.
I gave you money for your campaign.
Protesters in Saskatoon call for a controversial musician's concert permit to be revoked. 2 high-ranking City of Regina employees file suit against the city after they were fired. And 1 young Lumsden boy puts the pedal to the metal on his go-karting dreams.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It is Friday, August 8th, and the CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. I'm Ethan Williams. Thank you for joining us. Tensions are building in Saskatoon over an upcoming concert by U.S. Christian musician Sean Feucht. Now, protesters are putting pressure on City Hall over the event. Aishwarya Duda has our top story.
Cynthia, you have to revoke the permit. It's too hard on our community, can't you see?
Around 100 people protested outside City Hall, calling on the city to revoke Sean Feucht's permit to perform in the city. They confronted Mayor Cynthia Block, shouting at her.
I gave you money for your campaign.
This is not over, just to be clear. Every single day, it's another monitoring of the situation on the ground. And I am completely heartsick that it's gotten to the point where it is today. But you know what? Maybe that's a good thing. This is democracy in action.
Feucht, a MAGA-connected Christian rock musician, has spoken out against the 2S LGBTQ+ community and abortion rights online. He's supposed to perform in Diefenbaker Park on August 21st. But protesters say his views go against Saskatoon's principles of inclusion and safety. Earlier this year, the city declared itself a safe city for 2S LGBTQ+ people.
If we put him in a public park, we're sending a message that the city approves. He can go and play in a church. It's a church service. It's not a really concert. It's a church service.
Saskatoon police say they haven't identified any public safety risks connected to the concert, but will continue monitoring the situation. One constitutional law expert says revoking a permit over a disagreement with lawful speech could lead to legal challenges.
We are very reluctant to restrain expression in advance on the possibility that someone might say something illegal, or we could go around restricting everyone all the time. It's like the movie Minority Report and predicting crime and so forth. We just can't really do that and still have a free society.
Communities in Nova Scotia, PEI, New Brunswick, Ontario, Quebec, and Manitoba have already denied or revoked Feucht's concert permits, although he's still performed at alternate venues in some of those places. Block says she will introduce a motion at next week's City Council meeting to review how permits for public spaces are issued. But as for this event,
If I had my choice, this would not go forward.
if it does go ahead as planned, residents say they'll be there protesting the event. Feucht did not respond to a request for comment from CBC News, but has previously told reporters he's aware of the resistance and welcomes anyone curious to attend. Aishwarya Duda, CBC News, Saskatoon.
A teen who murdered a young Saskatoon mother is getting the maximum youth sentence allowed by law. Jordana Kuchar was shot in the back last fall. The 16-year-old who killed her pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. Kuchar was a talented ballet and tap dancer and a new mother with a baby girl. Last November, she became Saskatoon's 13th homicide victim of 2024. She was shot in the back during a robbery outside a coffee shop. On Thursday, the teen who killed her was sentenced.
It's a very tragic case, and it's a very tragic backstory as it relates to the accused as well. And I think ultimately, taking all of that into account and all of the information before the court, it led to some very complex issues and things that needed to be explored and ultimately were relevant to determining the appropriate sentence.
The teen was sentenced to 7 years, the maximum youth sentence. He was also given a lifetime firearms ban. The official opposition is calling on the Saskatchewan government to support the rebuilding process for northern communities devastated by wildfire. Their call comes as around a dozen communities continue to face evacuation orders. The NDP says the government should cut the PST on construction labor for people who need their homes, cabins, and commercial buildings rebuilt.
We continue to see failure after failure of the Sask Party government to meet the moment, to take the necessary steps to protect communities, to support those thousands of evacuees, people who have had the worst summer of their lives. These are families who have lost already so much. These are families who've been calling out for help during this wildfire season.
The NDP says residents should also receive immediate and direct financial aid. That includes grants for seasonal businesses, deferrals on taxes, and fees owed to the government for impacted businesses. Beck says SGI claims for small businesses should also be fast-tracked. She says it's not a partisan decision, rather the right thing to do. 2 City of Regina employees fired earlier this year are taking the city to court. They say they weren't properly paid severance after their termination. Jeremy Warren has more.
Last month, Audra Young and Lee Pham filed separate civil lawsuits in Regina King's Bench Court. Both had fixed-term contracts when the city fired them in April. According to their statements of claim, both are seeking damages for loss of pay and benefits. City records for last year show Young made about $183,000 and Pham made around $192,000. Young was the Indigenous Relations Director, while Pham was Chief of Staff to former City Manager Nikki Anderson. And just last week, City Council fired Anderson without cause. She had been on leave since April 30th, the same day Pham and Young were sacked. Neither city staff or city council have given reasons for the terminations. The city has not yet filed a statement of defense. City Hall declined comment as the matter is before the court. Pham and Young's lawyer also declined comment. Jeremy Warren, CBC News, Saskatoon.
Statistics Canada says the Canadian economy lost more than 40,000 jobs in July. That pushes the share of people employed to an 8-month low. Saskatchewan, meanwhile, has the lowest unemployment rate amongst the provinces, according to the new national job numbers out Friday. The unemployment rate here sits at 5%. The national average is nearly 7%. The province added 22,000 full-time jobs year over year in July. Some of the biggest gains were seen in healthcare, social assistance, and construction. Canada has a new tennis superstar. Victoria Mboko won the Women's National Bank Open Thursday. And the 18-year-old who came in as a wild card entry is fueling hopes for the future of Canadian tennis. Sarah Levitt has that story.
What an amazing game, an amazing atmosphere here in Montreal last night with this epic win. I want to say that it was surprising, but if you had followed Victoria Mboko throughout this tournament, you know that she was a giant slayer. She just kept doing it one after the other, and in the end, with this win, it meant she won against 4 former Grand Slam champions. It was something to behold for the Montreal audience, who were often on their feet. And she even said that the morning of the match, she had to go to the hospital because in the semifinals, she had fallen over, landed on her wrist, hurt it a bit, taped it up. But in the morning, it was swollen. So she went to the hospital, got an MRI and x-rays. She got the green light to play, taped it up, but it wasn't the best it could be, and yet she still won. Here's what she had to say.
I just wanted to push through as much as I possibly could because I wanted it so badly, you know.
In the crowd, watching it all along, and always by her side through her tennis journey was her family, particularly her mom and dad, who, you know, their story is kind of inspiring. They are from the Democratic Republic of Congo. They fled there because of political issues. They went to the United States. That's where Victoria was born. And then they settled in Burlington.
I don't have words, so I don't know what to say. I'm speechless.
But, you know, really helping her along here was the hometown crowd.
Shelton's not sure what's going on.
We saw it in Toronto during the men's final as one of the players was meant to serve a cheer. Meanwhile, this is what her father had to say about the Montreal crowd.
The best crowd ever I've never seen in my life. I love them. I think Victoria loved them.
So she has been brought in by all of Canada with this win. She says that she's going to take the time to relax, rest her wrist, and then you know what's on her mind? More tennis. The U.S. Open is just around the corner. Sarah Levitt, CBC News, Montreal.
Well, the province is launching a weekly construction update. The Orange Zone construction update will be released each Friday at 10 a.m. It will keep people up to date on the latest construction changes, and it'll provide info on how to find all of the ongoing highway construction in the province. If you are planning to hit the highway this weekend, you might be in for a bit of a rainy commute. That is after we've already seen some pretty heavy rain Thursday night into Friday, and some strong thunderstorms Friday afternoon and evening. Weather specialist Helena Mahalik has all the details in her forecast after the break. A young boy from Lumsden says he's living the dream, racing go-karts, and now he gets to show off his karting skills on the world stage. Alex Kozrowski has that story.
Nine-year-old Jack Clem is in the fast lane of the go-karting world. The young driver recently had success in Alberta, winning the Canada title at a tournament near Edmonton last weekend.
It just felt really cool because last year I was okay, but I didn't do the best, and I was just watching how they did. So then I learned from them, and I held the ticket.
Clem's consistency has earned him an invitation to represent Team Canada on the world stage. He's headed to the Rotax Grand Final in Bahrain in November as one of 400 of the best racers from 60 countries. Clem started his racing career 3 years ago. Since then, many have trained him on his path to success, including Scott Campbell, a Canadian Motorsports Hall of Famer who's been to the World Go-Karting Championships 12 times, taking home the gold in 2010.
My personal advice to everybody the very first time they go is just go, experience, have fun, have no expectations, because that's the way you're going to get the most out of it. Because if you have expectations, you're going to do well. It's the best kids from all over the world.
Clem is a busy kid, playing different sports and helping his parents farm. Despite his full schedule, he still dreams of a big future in racing.
Well, probably I'd be in rallycross because I'm training a lot for that right now. But go-karting is just a good start to go into it.
For now, Clem says he has a lot of racing between now and November when he and his family take off to Bahrain. Alex Kozrowski, CBC News, Lumsden.
And Scott Campbell is the latest addition to the Canadian Motorsports Hall of Fame. He told Stephanie Massicott he's proud of the work he's done for racing in Saskatchewan.
Got a phone call from Peter Lockhart, who's the organizer for Canadian Motorsports Hall of Fame in, I think, October or November. Just right out of the blue, didn't see it coming. And I was like, just unbelievably amazed to have that actually phone call come to me, being only 47 years old. When I went to it, everybody's in their 60s, right?
Yeah.
So it was crazy to actually get the opportunity to have this incredible thing. Saskatchewan's not the motorsports capital of Canada, right? So it's very much an Ontario and BC type thing. So what we've done, or what I've done here in Saskatchewan to build to the province, is a huge thing, right? And yeah, for having the province on the board because of it it's crazy, because nobody out of here ever does anything really in a big picture, right? In anything motorsports, we have one or two other people in the realm of all the motorsports that have actually done something. So it's crazy to have that opportunity to represent our province.
We are zooming our way into the weekend, and weather specialist Helena Mahalik joins us now. A very rainy weekend ahead, Helena.
Yes, a very rainy weekend, Ethan, and we're actually starting to see some more severe conditions associated with this rainfall. Let's take a look at what's going on in the province Friday night. Friday night, if you're watching live at 6:18 p.m., there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the southeast corner of the province. This is for areas just west of Estevan, including the RMs of Fillmore, Hazelwood, and Arcola. We are seeing risks of hail that could reach up to tennis ball sized. Wind gusts up to 100 kilometers an hour as well. Much of the southeast is under this severe thunderstorm watch, and we may see the chance of hail throughout much of the south. We actually saw some hail reported just east of Chaplin along the highway this morning on Friday morning about 11 a.m. So we are seeing that many places have actually received that hail, and we also have received many reports of rainfall already. This is just from Friday, so many of these happened overnight. Thursday, like Saskatoon, it could have gotten anywhere from 30 to 50 millimeters of rainfall, and this was in an intense system. Many people woke up overnight, like myself, from the amounts of heavy rainfall and thunder and lightning associated. Other places in the province got well over 10 to 15 millimeters of rainfall from some systems coming in on the overnight period as well. And we're just going to continue to see some of this rainfall and more severe conditions over the weekend. Saturday, we're going to see thunderstorms throughout much of south and central. We're going to continue to see more of the severe storms Saturday along the Alberta and Manitoba borders for the southeast, but things are really clearing up Sunday. We're just going to see some scattered showers, especially in the far north, but for the most part, we're seeing the sun come back out, and temperatures are also going to be returning back to seasonal after the rain cools things down. Monday, we're also just seeing the chance of some lighter showers up north, but mainly clear skies for south and central Saskatchewan. So we are going to be having a few days of rainfall. Just how much are we going to get? Well, Saskatoon could get over 20 millimeters of rainfall, as well as other places in south and central. Up north, we're not quite seeing as much rain, but some places in the far north, like Uranium City, could get over 20 millimeters of rainfall. So we are seeing a good amount of rain there as well. And we are going to see a breeze pick up, especially Saturday, with up to 50 kilometers an hour wind gusts, especially in the southeast corner, where those storms are going to be at its strongest, Ethan. So especially if you're in the southeast, maybe the weekend to stay indoors.
Okay, thank you, Helena.
Thanks, Ethan.
Well, if you've ever visited downtown Saskatoon, you've likely walked past the statue of Mahatma Gandhi. It's been there for 25 years now, and we spoke with the man who brought it to the city.
Who's behind you?
That's Mahatma Gandhi. Yeah.
Have you ever walked past it and thought, what is he doing here?
Yeah, it's a pretty random place to be in the middle of Saskatoon downtown.
How did this idea come about?
Well, I think this idea came about in 1997. I was then the president of India-Canada Cultural Association. And I came across an article in India Abroad that the Gandhian statues were being considered as a donation by the government of India to promote the Gandhian philosophy. We only prefer to get this type of statue than typical Gandhi statue, which is a stick and walking, because the architecture people, they told me that for the weather that we have, this is the best, but the other one will not last long enough, and there may be problem of its maintenance. All of the statues within the province of Saskatchewan and in the city of Saskatoon in the past were the Canadian heroes in various fields. This is the first time an international entity, Mahatma Gandhi, was brought in here. And the reason is because I convinced the city officials that he represents the unity amongst all of the people from the world who come to Saskatoon. Gandhian philosophy is settling the conflicts with nonviolence, peaceful negotiation, and understanding of each other and mutual respect. Several centuries from now, the immigrants or the existing children of the Indian Canadian people, if they were to be here, they will know their ancestors several centuries back were here.
Canada being so diverse, I could definitely see how the people who come from other countries and other places around the world, especially Saskatchewan where we have so much diversity, they would love to see something like this. So even though it's super random, I feel like it's anyone walking down the street can even connect with it a bit.
Well, The Prague Zoo is raising yellow-headed vulture chicks with puppet parents. It became necessary when actual vulture foster parents stopped caring for incubator-hatched chicks properly. Direct contact with human caregivers would mean the chicks might start identifying with humans, threatening further breeding. Stay with us, more news and a final look at the forecast when we come back. Prime Minister Mark Carney announced a pay increase for members of the Canadian military while visiting CFB Trenton.
All members of the Canadian Armed Forces will receive a pay raise. Specifically, there will be an 8% raise for colonels and above, a 13% raise for lieutenant colonels and below, and a 20% raise in starting pay for privates.
Ottawa says the plan also gives other forces members pay raises with smaller hikes for higher ranks. New military allowances are being created, including bonuses for those working in what Ottawa calls stressed occupations. The Prime Minister says the plan will boost recruitment, revitalize retention, and bolster operational readiness. Carney says the package will help Canada get to NATO's defense spending benchmark of 2% of GDP. And Helena is back with our soggy weekend forecast.
Definitely a rainy weekend, and temperatures will be feeling a little bit cooler because of it. Let's take a look at the forecast for the city of Regina. Saturday, with that rainfall, temperatures are actually going to be below 20 degrees, and definitely a good chance of seeing that rainfall. Sunday, we're seeing the rain stop, temperatures returning closer to seasonal, a bit of a breezy day. We're going to have a sunny week all throughout, but we will have a few days of rainfall. Temperatures will be around seasonal, but we have a few days of thunderstorms, including Wednesday, which will be our hottest day next week, and temperatures slowly dipping down until this time next week. Temperatures feeling just a little bit cooler, hovering just above 20 degrees. We are going to be seeing some rainfall Saturday in Saskatoon as well. Temperatures again dipping below that 20-degree mark. Sunday, the rainfall stops. The sun is out all throughout the week. We do have another slight chance of rainfall Monday and Wednesday, but we are going to see temperatures about seasonal until dipping down starting Thursday, and into the end of next week, we're going to see temperatures a little bit cooler, hovering at that 20-degree mark. Our overnight lows are still going to be at about seasonal though. But you know, Ethan, it is good to see so much rainfall in the province, definitely needed.
It is, and Saturday, curl up with a book inside. Sunday, looks like we can get outside.
Perfect plan for the weekend.
Sounds good. Okay, thanks, Helena.
Thanks, Ethan.
And that is our news for this Friday. For more news anytime, you can always head to cbc.ca/sask or subscribe to our CBC Saskatchewan YouTube channel. You can also download the CBC News app on your smartphone or tablet. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.